Hello, everybody, and welcome to Health Potion, episode 6? 6, I think?
I think so.
Episode 6? Okay.
E3 edition.
Oh, yeah.
E3 edition.
Special two-parter E3 edition.
Two-parter.
What?
It's a two-parter. Get to the second part. Click now. Go to the second part before the first part, so it doesn't make sense at all. Come on, do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna hide my true geekiness for part 2 because, yeah,
No, you're not. You're just gonna scream.
No, no, I'll scream when we get to the second episode, because that's when we get into the shit that, like, I mean, granted, there was a lot of stuff at, like, Microsoft, there's some stuff at EA, and even Ubisoft, and Bethesda especially, that I was really excited about, but there's very few things, near and dear to me as Square Enix properties, especially ones that I not grew up with, but especially ones that got me into video games, or got me on the path to being the gamer that I am today. So yeah, can we, do you agree that this was this was the best E3 you've ever seen? I mean, I believe that.
Yeah, hands down, it was the best E3 I've ever seen. Like, I feel like for the most part, all of the conferences that needed to be strong were strong. Like,
yeah.
They had their very first conference ever, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like the little, like, joke that, the presenter made where he's like, hey, like, I had an idea to do a new thing, and, didn't really tell him I wanted to do a presentation, but yeah, doing a presentation.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that one opened really, really strong. Everything, like, I wasn't really sure how exactly they were going to do it. Initially I thought it was just going to be Doom and Fallout, but then there was that leak of Dishonored 2 that came the day before.
Yeah, that's one of the things I saw.
I wish people wouldn't do that. It's like, stop. Just
makes me
stop,
angry. It makes me angry, these insiders that are like, hey, I'm just going to spoil the hell out of these press conferences for you guys. And I'm like, fuck that, fuck you.
That same shit happened with the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Like, I would have had a bigger reaction from seeing that. I mean, I had a pretty big reaction, but I would have had a much greater reaction if I had not leaked on the internet before the press conference.
This is why I avoid the majority of the internet for 2 weeks prior to what I even unsubscribe to, like, on Twitter, to magazines that I subscribe to, because they usually report, like, these leaks and these reports, and I go, fuck you. So I just like, unsubscribe. I was only going to follow, like, the official channels, like Sony and Microsoft and all that shit. It's guys that wouldn't leak stuff. And I was, like, so hell-bent on not seeing leaks that I didn't even look at it on my browser. I looked at it only on my phone for 2 weeks, because on the browser you see the hashtags on the side, and those could have leaks as well. So I didn't even do that. I just was like, I'm gonna avoid it.
Well, yeah,
altogether.
I generally don't touch anything like Twitter or other things like that, so it didn't bother me.
I had to resist the urge to Google search
the only thing is like, for the most part, like, a lot of things didn't really get leaked out, but
yeah,
like I was just kind of like, I wanted to see people's reactions to stuff, just sort of like general E3 on Facebook, so I clicked that and I was scrolling around, and then I saw that, and I just saw, like, the picture of Cloud, and I was like, okay, well, guess that's going to be a thing.
Yeah.
But it was just, it wasn't actually from that trailer at all, so they didn't have that, but, but anyway, I digress. Back to Bethesda.
Let's start with Doom.
Like, in order. I mean, like, they started with Doom, and Jesus Christ, I mean, they started with gameplay. I mean, this Doom itself, from what I understand, it looks like it's going to be sort of like a reboot, sort of like they're just sort of like rebooting the Doom franchise and just starting there.
It's not
and
more.
You're a damn space marine, and I'm like, well, this guy is clearly gonna, kick some ass. And I
heard he was a super soldier. That's what I had heard.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like, it's pretty much Master Chief, dude.
I don't know if Master Chief would grab the leg of a zombie and push the foot through the zombie's face in order to kill
him. I'm saying like he's on. I would say he's on the level of Master Chief. Like that's the kind of super space marine that he's supposed to be.
I would go.
I mean, he's like one man army fighting like the forces of hell.
Right.
But it looks like you're back on like I think from what they said that you're like a marine that gets called out to like a Mars installation and to clear out demons. So pretty much you go in there from the trailer. I mean, anyone that's listening to this, and you should be watching that actually right now, and then come back and listen to this.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I liked what they had. Just one thing that that threw me off a little bit was that like it looked like you did damage, and then they would start glowing, and then that's when you could do the auto kills. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like that might get a little repetitive, but maybe they just have enough different weapons to where that won't matter. I was expecting some more like beam weapons and things like that, because I know they showed off like a shotgun, super shotgun, it's like a chain gun, there's a chainsaw, there's a rocket launcher with like 2 different types, where you could shoot like single rockets or smart rockets. God, there's like an assault rifle, sort of like a pulse rifle.
Chainsaw.
Yeah, I already... And then around the very end, they showed off the BFG. But hopefully they add some more like beam type weapons in there, because I used to like those in the original Doom. Like there was like this sort of, God, I can't remember what it was. It was sort of like this cannon that would just shoot out these pulses and stuff like that. So maybe that's kind of like the pulse rifle, but just remade. I don't really know. Yeah. But either way, it looks really good. I'm really excited about it.
Even somebody who's not really into multiplayer like me, I would definitely pick it up if my friends are, because I really want to play the maps, especially. Like the Doom Snap map, I think it's called. Where, I have it right here, let me just look at it. It's where, basically it's like, it's Snap map. It's basically what Halo Reach had, where you get to make your own maps.
Well, it's Halo. It's Forge. It's Halo Forge. It's pretty much Halo. Yeah.
You basically get to make your own shit, share it with the world. People can download certain new user-created game maps and modes and all that shit. And that's a really great way to extend the longevity of a game. Is when especially free stuff like this.
Yeah, and I mean, not only that, but I mean, they give you a horde mode, and they give you a zombies type mode, and there's probably going to be other modes that they just haven't showed us yet. But and then of course there's the campaign, which they didn't really talk about much. But I mean, it looks really good, and honestly, like after how like Wolfenstein was handled, I have high hopes for this, because if they basically don't, if they don't let the game take itself too serious, like
oh no, they're not.
with how excellently like Wolfenstein did it, like it was serious, but then also it wasn't serious. Like it had goofy. It had that goofy balance it needed. I mean, I felt like Wolfenstein did what it needed to do. The only thing it might have lacked might have been a multiplayer, but I was completely content with what was there in the game.
Yeah.
But with Doom actually getting its campaign and getting a multiplayer, like, it's definitely going to be something that I want to pick up, like, for sure. I mean, especially, like, whenever they activate that beta, because I'm going to play the fuck out of that.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, because the thing is when I got Wolfenstein, it came with a Doom beta, and I immediately entered that fucking code in.
Yeah.
And so eventually I'm probably just going to get a notification that says, like, Doom beta downloaded, and I'm going to be like, I know what I'm doing today. But, yeah, so I'm super excited for that. Yeah. That was really cool.
And I mean, it's the same developers from the very first one. So
So I mean,
really happy about.
Yeah, so that like I feel like it's going to be done right.
Yeah,
and it's
they know what they're doing.
Pretty awesome.
This is their baby. It's like George Miller with Mad Max. This is their baby. They know what they're doing with it. So just step back, let them do their thing. And I actually like Bethesda's, because Bethesda's gotten more into publishing games recently, which is why they had such a big, which is why they had a conference this year, because they've been publishing quite a few things. And I like their approach so far, where they don't seem so intrusive into their stuff, where it's like, no, you're going to have to do it like this. They kind of are like, here's the property, you know what you're doing, we'll step back, and we'll handle the distribution and everything. You guys just do your thing. And I really like that. I respect that.
Well, yeah, because I mean, like they're one of the game developers and producers that I still have trust in. There's like them and CD Projekt Red.
I love them.
But they always do generally a pretty awesome job. I mean, and and the ones following, like, you know, after Doom, I mean, they did the official announcement for for Dishonored 2, which is really awesome because they gave you well, I mean, it showed off like an older I think I want to say her. Well, I know her name is Emily. I think it's Emily Caldwell or something like that, or something like that. But basically, the girl, like the queen's daughter from the first Dishonored, that may or may not have been Corvo's daughter. They were never specific about that, but they kind of dropped subtle hints about it. But I thought that was really cool, bringing her back as the. It seems like she's the protagonist. I mean, they also said that it seems like they said that you could also play as Corvo again.
Yeah.
But
honestly, I don't know if that's her though. I mean, they haven't officially announced that it's the Empress's daughter.
No, they did. That was her name.
Oh, really?
That was her name.
It has been a while since I've played
Dishonored. Yeah, it's just in Dishonored she was a little girl.
Right.
Okay. But yeah, no. So it just kind of looks like the premise of that is that
seems interesting.
Stuff went wonky. Some other person kind of like overthrew her kingdom, and she's got to like fight to get it back. I'm not really. Honestly, I do kind of wish that they just would have given it to her and not been like, well, you could also play as Corvo. It's like,
I mean, it's for people that want, maybe they have like a dual campaign, which I'm totally on board for. That's fine.
Well, I mean, like if it went back between them, like if they were both doing stuff, I think that would be cool. But I feel like I would want to play as more as her because like she's the new character. She looked like there's a lot of cool stuff going on. Just like with, I mean, I don't want to get into Assassin's Creed, but Evie, Jesus fucking Christ, dude, at that trailer, she looks way more badass than her brother.
Oh, for Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, for Syndicate. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. Like, so, Dishonored, it's another game coming out next year, like
Definitive Edition as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the Definitive Edition is coming out at the end of this year, which I kind of called. I won't be picking it up. I never really got the DLC the first time, but I enjoyed the game, the base game. But yeah. Other than that,
we got Battle Cry as well, which I honestly, it looked a lot like Team Fortress 2.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, it had the same. It had like pretty much the same classes as Team Fortress. It seems like. I mean, if you think about it, Team Fortress at this point in time, Team Fortress 2 is pretty old. So, like, I mean, even though people play the hell out of it, like, if you can do it better, why not? I don't really know how successful it's going to be, but, I mean, I'm personally not going to play because I don't play Team Fortress either, but it seems like it's going to be something pretty awesome, and it'd be nice to see it do well. I mean, I want Bethesda to do well.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't really know what else to talk about for that since they just kind of showed sort of like pre-alpha stuff.
I think it was a CGI trailer for that.
I mean, I think they showed some other stuff. I think, but I can't remember. But anyway, I mean, like the biggest thing of like the Bethesda conference,
easily.
Like
the reason they had one.
Yeah, it was the whole Fallout announcement, and I mean,
can't fucking
like.
wait.
I mean, I was talking with Adam just like right before it started. I'm gonna like, and just because from the trailer they actually no. I was at I didn't get a chance to talk with you before. You were doing something else. I was over at my friend's apartment and I was talking to him because we were watching the YouTube stream. Just doing a side really fast. YouTube made it way easier to watch all of the conferences this year. And
whoever's idea it was to have that channel, the E3 Live channel, I give them a round of applause.
Yeah, because
that made it so much easier this year.
Yeah, and I mean, because literally you would just go on YouTube, click the thing, and it would just show you all the press conferences and just watch this now. And it had, like, I mean,
a lot.
Like, I was able to watch a bulk of it from my console. I wasn't able to watch, I found the Square Enix one eventually, even though YouTube had a direct one. I had to go to like the Square Enix channel to watch the live stream on my PS4 because I couldn't.
I watched it through IGN.
Well, I mean, I couldn't find the particular one, but the thing is like all of the YouTube streams and everything were really, really clear, crisp. I didn't have any issues. Like generally, I always have issues with like Twitch and all these other ones where basically there's a commercial.
For me, it pixelated like once or twice, and it might have like stopped at one point for maybe like 2 seconds. That's about it.
No, yeah, but the thing is, honestly, it was the easiest like I've ever watched any of those like E3 events ever, because like if you just I mean from the E3 or from the E3 on YouTube stream, or like they had a couple different ones, they would be like, oh, here's the Microsoft one with IGN, and here's the other one with like Gamecom or something like that, or different places like that. But then if you just went to the regular, you know, like E3 at YouTube, or the YouTube one, they would have people talking, and they'd be like, okay, let's just cut over this conference right now. And the thing is through that, like, YouTube one itself, I saw the world premiere of the Metal Gear Solid 5 trailer.
Oh my God.
They showed it first. They showed it first on the YouTube stream.
Yeah,
and I also saw them play Rock Band 4, which was awesome.
How does that look? I still haven't seen the footage from that.
I mean, they did just like one song from what I saw, but apparently you can actually use your instruments, like the 360 and the PS3 instruments on the for the new game. They'll let you do that, which is pretty awesome. Unfortunately, all of the instruments I have are for the 360, and I don't plan on getting an Xbox One anytime soon, so I might just wait on that game in general.
Right.
Or try and buy some cheap instruments. I don't know, but I don't know. It looks good. I'm excited to see what they do with it. But
oh my! I was so happy with what I saw from Metal Gear. That trailer gave me chills.
Yeah, it was a really good trailer. It was nice to actually see Hideo Kojima's name on the fucking trailer. They didn't strip that out.
His name out of his company logo.
Yeah,
which I thought was really funny. I was like, God.
Yeah, but I mean, the trailer looked crazy and intense. I mean, I've never really been into the Metal Gear games, so this is probably going to be a game that I pick up like way later in time, maybe red boxes, something like that. But I mean, it looks damn good. I mean, but anyway, back to Fallout. I was with my friend. I was like, dude, how much do you want to bet? Like, it's gonna start you like before the bomb goes off. And he was like, they might do that. And then they start the trailer, and it shows that you can, which is pretty awesome. It shows that you can be, you know, like male or female, which is really cool.
Your baby will dynamically adjust based on the skin of your color. Even like they picked, I think that's something like crazy, like 1,000 of the most popular names, and characters in the game will actually say whatever first name you pick.
Yeah.
Which I think is huge, because I've waited a long time for something like that.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Call me Adam. Like,
yeah,
hey, Adam,
it's really awesome, and I liked like the little banter that the characters had with each other when you're doing the character creation.
Oh yeah.
Like that, and then it's just, I mean, you could in most of the Fallout games, especially like, you know, like Fallout 3 New Vegas. I'm not sure about the earlier ones because I didn't play them. I don't know if you could play as a female character or not, but it's just cool because for the first time ever, this is like a big deal. They actually gave personalities to the main character, whether you're the female character or the male character. Like, you actually have someone voicing your character. They have their own, you know, they're going to have their own character for the first time ever. A
lot of influence from Mass Effect.
I wouldn't even see Mass Effect, man. I would just... like, that's the thing. When everyone says Mass Effect, I always, like, pull it way back, and I'm always like, well, you know, like Knights of the Old Republic and stuff like that, but...
Well, the way that, like, the dialogue is organized via the diamond based on the button layout on the controller.
Yeah. They give you...
That's from Mass Effect.
Yeah, as opposed to, like, previous Fallout.
That's from, I'm sorry. It's from Walking Dead, not Mass Effect.
Yeah, I'd say as opposed to the previous Fallout, you just have a list of things you could say. They sort of like give you a diamond, and you can pick the different options and things like that. So that's pretty cool. Like, the game itself looks really awesome.
Looks amazing.
Like, one of the, like, I mean, all the customization things really blew me away too. Like, I really appreciated the fact that that like you could take your starting pistol and you could like upgrade that thing into like whatever you want. You could even turn it into a rifle. I think that's really cool. So that basically gives you motivation to like hold on to some weapons, you know, because it's like, well, I'm just gonna hold on to this and like upgrade it as it goes, you know. And so that's really good. That even your beginning like pistol could basically be a rifle later on.
They showed one of the modifications for the bat that had saw blades attached to the end of it. I was like, I want that fucking bat. I want to see what the bat. I want to see what the VATS mode looks like.
I know. Well, the thing is that hopefully it sounds like they've also improved that not only third person and just non-VATS gunplay and things like that.
Right.
So that's pretty awesome.
Even the third person looks better.
Yeah. I mean, I like to go between third person and first person depending on like what's going on in situations.
Even during dialogue, you can change.
Yeah. Apparently, like you're not even stuck in dialogue. You can just like physically walk away, like you can do in a. I'm trying to think what other game you could do that in. I mean, can you do that?
You can do that in Skyrim a little bit.
Yeah, like I did play a game where basically you could just physically walk away and it just ends the conversation. Like, oh, okay, talk to you later.
Yeah. Or they're like asshole.
But yeah, no, I mean that looks really cool. It's apparent like they said like all the resources that you kind of like the random shit you collect in the world, you can actually use that to help make your upgrades.
Yeah.
You can like grab all of your scraps and stuff. You can use that to like build fortifications and build your own camps, and then sort of have people come in and live in your camps, and then you can like sort of do like tower defense games and stuff like that because it's going to be like bandits that want to raid it and crap like that. So that's pretty awesome.
And I love how that's not like a major focus. Like they're not forcing you to do it. He even said that's completely optional if you want to do it. And I was like,
yeah, I think I'm going to try to do it at least once, though. Like, I'm going to do, like, a beta test of it. Like, I'm going to, like, make a small thing and just have, like, 12 turrets sitting around, like, a little shack and be like, come get some. But yeah, no, that looks really awesome. I'm glad they worked on the faces. Like, the faces don't look fucking horrendous. Like, all of, like, the other games, they actually, like... Because you would look at some faces in, like, freaking Oblivion and, like, Fallout 3, and you'd be like, oh, God. You'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with your face?
At the time, it looked amazing, but now it's like, oh my God.
I would say it looked okay.
At the time, we weren't used to this level of graphical stuff that they can do now.
But
back in 2005, when they
I would say, the faces aren't, like, super amazing, but I would say they're very decent now. So they're not, it's not like a negative to look at the faces now.
I think
I'm just really excited to see where that game is going to go. And then, like, the biggest thing for me is when they're like, yeah, and then we're going to have, like, this Pip-Boy edition of the game. It's only $120, which I found out later. They didn't say it there. And they're like, yeah, and, like, look at this Pip-Boy. It looks really awesome, right? How awesome would it be if you, like, I don't know, took your smartphone and slid it into there? And, like, I don't know, how awesome would it be if, like, we gave you a free app that actually let you use it as a Pip-Boy? And it's like, what the fuck? So that looked really cool.
Yeah.
I got mine pre-ordered on Amazon, and you can't get pre-orders at Amazon anymore for anything. It's all sold out.
Yeah.
I don't know what GameStop is done. I'm pretty sure they might be sold out. I don't really know. I didn't pay attention to that.
No, I doubt. As far as the retailers go, I'm pretty sure it's going to be an online thing. Or it might even just be an Amazon exclusive. I never know.
What, the Pip-Boy?
Yeah, it might be.
No, I don't think it would be. I think it would be something sort of like the Ghost Edition of Destiny, where it's just kind of like...
They've done something like that, where like Amazon has gotten a monopoly on a lot of exclusive online deals. You can't get the Bloodborne Collector's the guide anywhere except Amazon. There was a collector's edition of one game that I forget what it was called, but it was only available on Amazon. So they're starting to rise up as far as these pre-order things go. Which, whether that's a good thing or not, is up for debate. But
well, the thing is GameStop.com has the Pip-Boy edition, but they're all already sold out.
Oh,
because they all say more info right now. So basically, I'm pretty sure it's something that happened within probably a day.
Yeah. Like hours.
Yeah. Which is because the thing is even if I don't want to keep it for the Pip-Boy, I mean, I might just turn around and sell it to just make a shit ton of money. But yeah, no, it looks really cool. Also, the fact that they announced that Fallout Shelter, like a mobile game for like iOS, I haven't tried it yet, but I mean, it looked really cool. I'm definitely gonna try it later.
I like that it's free. There's no paywalls, and you don't need the internet for it.
I mean, the only thing they said that you pay is like, well, if you want to buy like extra packs of stuff, you can do that. But I mean, it's not anything like these other games where it's kind of like, oh, well, you've expended your energy for now. Gotta come back in like 2 hours. It's like, no. I mean, that's really awesome. I really like that. And that pretty much, like, I don't know if there's anything you want to say about
there was that Elder Scrolls card game, which they didn't show
like Elder Scrolls Legends.
Yeah, they didn't show anything for it, but after going through Witcher again and getting obsessed with the Gwent, I'm kind of on like a, all right, strategy card game. I'm down.
Yeah. I mean, that's really cool. I mean, I like to see how they're going to release and everything. Because that's definitely something that's pretty cool. I like these card games. I mean, especially since Blizzard came out with Hearthstone. There's a lot of companies that are like, shit, man, we need to get back. Like, not only is it like physical card games, now it's like the digital card games. Like they're coming back again.
Yeah, Hearthstone's really revived that.
Yeah, I mean, I played Hearthstone. Like, I liked it. Not like the biggest fan of it though. Like, I love Gwent. Gwent is like amazing. If they like did like a digital version of Gwent or made a physical Gwent, I would lose all my money because I would just buy that instead of stuff. But yeah, no, I don't think there's really. I mean, they talked about
Elder Scrolls Online for a little bit.
Yeah, they talked about the console version of that. I don't really know.
Oh, they talked about Bethesda.net. That's one of the things.
Yeah, that's like where they're actually gonna. But I think did they mention it there? Or did they mention that during the PS? The Xbox conference.
No, they did that. They first announced that during Bethesda's thing.
Okay, well, I mean, the thing is, technically, like, we could probably do this as a crossover, but at the Microsoft conference, when they had the guy from Fallout come out, they actually announced that, I don't know if it's going to hit other console, like the PS4 later or not, but the Xbox One version of Fallout 4 will be moddable, but the way it has to work is through Bethesda.net. Someone's got to go in and upload their mod, and then through that, on the Xbox One, you can download the mod. I'm pretty sure it's going to be kind of limited because you can't do anything like high-fidelity texture mods because that would just, like, break the fucking game. But there's probably other things they can add in, like weapons and other cool stuff like that. So that I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with that. So that's really exciting. I don't know if is there anything else you want to talk about Bethesda before moving on to Microsoft?
And then the Xbox One edition, it comes with Fallout 3, which I thought was really interesting. Okay, I just saw this. Bethesda does want to bring the mod thing to PS4.
Awesome.
I don't know whether or not they might. What I'm guessing they're going to do, if they decide to bring it to PS4, is that they're going to do. It's going to be a timed feature where Xbox gets it for a little bit, maybe for 6 months or.
Well, I mean that's kind of always the case with like Bethesda games, like with Skyrim and stuff like that. They always get the stuff first.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So actually, I have like a listing of like GameStop actually listed everything that comes with the Pip-Boy edition. So there is the Pip-Boy replica, which you can actually use with your smartphone and everything. There's the stand and there's a capsule case that it all comes in. Let's see. Okay. It has adjustable foam cuff, rotating knobs and lights, designed to accommodate a variety of smartphone devices, which is awesome because that should be able to do iOS and Android, I hope. With customizable inserts, which means you can change the size. Let's see. Mobile app, of course. There's going to be a physical Pip-Boy pocket guide featuring handy illustrations, chock full of Vault-Tec approved tips, and the manual is the ultimate how-to pocket guide for maintaining your Pip-Boy. Physical Vault-Tec perk poster. Keep track of your perks with your very own physical Vault-Tec perk poster, fully colorized, retro fun for the quintessential Wasteland Survivor. And then Power Armor collectible metal packaging. So I think that's like the steel case, exclusive to the Pip-Boy edition. The sticker-rated metal cases for the Ultimate Fan collectible. So they give you like, everything comes in a cool-looking case. It comes with a Pip-Boy and a stand, so if you just want to display it, you could wear the thing and just, with your smartphone and everything like that. It comes with like a poster and like a pocket guide. So I mean, honestly, I thought it was going to be way more than $120, to be honest. So that's really exciting. That they didn't try and price gouge people, because realistically, let's say the game is $60. That's another $60 right there for everything else. So basically, if you divide it among the steel case, the the package, the capsule that it all comes in, the Pip-Boy itself, that's a pretty decent value for what they give you, in my opinion. Like I've seen other collector's editions where they charge you way more and they don't really give you shit. They just special box. So yeah. I mean, I think this is really cool. This is the first collector's edition since the Ghost one that I've seen that's been really, really awesome. I mean, the Batman one with the fucking Batmobile.
Dude,
if I had the money for the Batmobile one, God, I would have the Batmobile in a heartbeat. The Witcher one looked really cool too. But yeah, no. So I mean, yeah, if it also comes to the PS4, that would be really awesome. I wouldn't mind waiting, because that means by the time it came to the PS4, there would be a crap ton of mods. So it'd be one of those things that's worth waiting for. But yeah, scrolling over into the Microsoft one.
They started big. I was expecting them to keep Halo 5 until one of the very last things, but they were like, nope, here we go, Halo 5. I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. So they opened with Halo 5, and
cool.
As it stands right now, there's a little bit of controversy to the game, from what I understand. Before they even showed anything, there was something saying that online you could have up to 4 people co-op during the story mode, and at home you could do basically split screen co-op on the story mode, basically like you could do with every other Halo game, except some other ones let you do maybe they would let you do quad screen even for some of them. But apparently that's not the case. There's not going to be any home split screen at all. So I don't know if that's just for the campaign or if it's for multiplayer. Because one thing I would always do is I would split screen co-op with some of my friends. We'd have 2 Xboxes. They would be on one. We would be on another one. Try to get a lot of people. And if that just completely gets relegated to separate systems, then that's going to kill couch co-op for Halo, and that's not a good thing, in my opinion. But that aside, what they showed, I mean, it looked pretty cool. I mean, it looked kind of I'm trying to think what it best reminds me of, because it had him, the player one was marking places for other characters to go check out and examine and things like that. It kind of actually reminded me of Killzone a little bit, because Killzone did that. You could tell your little droid to check shit out and stuff like that.
It reminded me a lot of Destiny. I just kept thinking Destiny. I know that's not fair, because it's... Well, actually, it's kind of fair, because it's the same...
It is fair, yeah.
Yeah, it looks so much like Destiny, but...
And, yeah. And, I mean, it looked like a Halo game. It sounded like a Halo game. I mean, I don't know how it feels. It looks like they kind of give everyone, little jetpacks, and you're working in a squad of, 4 people. I know that at some point you probably play between maybe them and Master Chief. Maybe at some point that squad gets broken up and you play as different members of that. I don't really know how they plan on making it work. I mean it's going to work. I mean, I don't know how they actually how the whole thing is going to work itself, how it's going to flow out and everything. But yeah, I thought it looked decent enough. I would have loved to actually seen Master Chief during it, because I mean, just maybe showing him a couple seconds at the end, just been the Master Chief, because that's the big thing about Halo is Master Chief. I know you want to show your new people, but you should have still teased him at the very end. But anyway, I can't remember, what did they show next?
They showed ReCore.
Oh yeah, ReCore. It was the new game
from Keiji Inafune, which my friend's a big Nintendo Mega Man guy. And when he saw Keiji Inafune's name, he was like, holy fuck! No way! And when they said it was an Xbox One exclusive game, and it's from Retro, which is the guys that made Metroid Prime. So, and it looked interesting. I mean, granted, there wasn't any gameplay. We don't even know what kind of game it is. So, but it looked as far as a concept trailer goes, it looks interesting. I mean, it reminded me a lot of WALL-E with the whole cute robot kind of thing, which I could not help but think of like WALL-E. I was like, oh yeah, that's cute. Yeah, okay, cool. I mean, it's nothing. It's nothing that I'd like buy an Xbox One for, even
Yeah.
though it has some pretty good names behind it. But it looked interesting, and I hope we see more gameplay soon because it's coming in spring 2016. So we're definitely going to be getting something sooner or later, which is good. I forget because I have a list up, but it's not in order what they showed. I think Fallout was next, but we already talked about Fallout.
Yeah. Like, their biggest announcement from that was just, like, the mod thing.
Right. Oh! I forgot. Okay, no. I know what they showed next. They dropped a bombshell at Microsoft's conference. Like, as Sony dropped plenty of them, Microsoft had this, where not through any kind of streaming service, but native backwards compatibility with Xbox 360 games. And right now, it's limited, I think, to 100 games at first, as far as physical discs go. But they're going to be adding a ton more, and there's no service fees or charges or anything. All it is you just take the disc that's compatible with what they're offering so far, put the disc in, download the game on the Xbox One, and you're good to go. It's like, that's all you need. There's no PlayStation Now bullshit, no renting, no streaming, none of that. It's all native backwards compatibility, which I was like, holy shit. Like, why the hell do I still have an Xbox 360? Now I want an Xbox One, so because I can play it. I mean, granted, they're not. Okay, I want to say this before people like start freaking out about it. If the servers are going to go down for the games that are on the 360, there's no way you can do the multiplayer on them, even if it is going to be on Xbox One, because it doesn't.
Yeah,
work
so it's not like, especially with what they've been doing with a lot of the Halo games. It's not like you can just go pop in Halo 3 and be like, "Let's do this, bitches," because they've pretty much tried to migrate everything over to the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, but for like single player stuff on the 360, hey, this is great news. This is great news. Especially if you want to like give away your 360 for some money to put towards other shit in your life, yeah, this is great. This is like great news. And one of the things I feel like they definitely have the upper hand in terms of the battle between Sony and the competition between Sony and Microsoft. They've got them beat on that, man. Because I would definitely take, in a heartbeat, and I think anybody would take native backwards compatibility with a disc as opposed to that stupid PlayStation Now crap.
Yeah, it's just you would need to upgrade your hard drive because because basically instead of just being able to pop a game in and play it, you literally will have to install every single one of them.
Yeah.
So you'll need a bigger hard drive to be able to do that successfully.
Yeah, which they're doing. They're doing the 1 terabyte, which they really.
If you get the 1 terabyte, that's the thing. Or if you maybe if you do something where it's like all on an external, like maybe you just like get an external and be like, well, this is my external for all of my 360 games. Yeah. And you just plug that fucker in and just play your 360 games. That way, you don't have to worry about your library and stuff like that, and worry about filling up your Xbox. Because I heard they're actually going to let you start doing external Xbox, I think.
Yeah. But next thing they talked about was this Xbox One Elite controller. Which
I think it's weird.
I liked it. If the price wasn't so goddamn outrageous.
Yeah, basically it's $150 for a modifiable controller.
Yeah, it was like I was like, holy shit, that looks cool. And then it was like, how much is it? And then my friend said, oh, they revealed the price online. And I was like, how much is it? It's $150. I was like, get the fuck out of here. You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, like, that's not gonna hahappen. That's not gonna happen.
No.
Well, I mean, and also, like, something else, like, speaking of controllers, Xbox is trying to buy into the VR game by basically working with the Oculus Rift people, and every time an Oculus Rift sells, it'll come with like an Xbox 360 controller or something like that. I found that interesting that that's where they're hopping on, because I mean, and then afterwards, I think I can't remember the other games they showed. I mean, I think they showed Tomb Raider, or did that happen at the Ubisoft?
Which one?
The Tomb Raider. Oh no, Tomb Raider's not Ubisoft. It's Square Enix.
No, that's Square Enix.
So yeah, they showed Tomb Raider. I mean, Tomb Raider looks cool.
I honestly like. I still want the game. I'm really excited for it. I was not all that impressed by the demo that they showed.
No, I'm willing to wait. I mean, however, because the thing is, they never said it was like they were never definitive saying it like they said for Street Fighter V, where it's like this is only on like PC and PS4. That's it. They weren't that specific, so it sounds like that one's just gonna come out maybe like a year or two later, and then you can just get the definitive edition on the PS4 with all the DLC and crap like that. So that's probably what I'm gonna do.
And then they did Forza 6, which I was like,
I mean, racing games bore me, but I mean, they always look really pretty. They always look really, really good.
It looks beautiful.
They're like the best looking games, honestly.
Yeah. The Division, which I'm tired of seeing, but whatever.
Then I think they showed the HoloLens.
Yeah. Well, we're getting HoloLens. And we said this on the last show. I said I would give them 5 minutes. I would be like, okay, have a small little window to talk about it. And I even was like, you can't really demonstrate it all that much. But they actually found a way to demonstrate it for the people watching via a stream.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really interesting.
Technically, it's not even just the stream. They had to do it for people inside of the arena too, because the thing is it just looked like a bland table, and then using like basically the modified camera with the HoloLens, you could actually see what the other guy was saying, where basically it was like Minecraft basically risen into hologram form, which was just really, I mean, it looked really cool, but I don't, like, it's one of those things where it's like, I know it's not just for gaming, they're going to be using it for other things too, but I can't remember actually what they were going to be doing it for. Is it like, does like the HoloLens like just project itself on the wall so it looks like you're playing a game on the wall? I'm not really sure what it actually is.
I don't even know, like, if that table, I don't know how the setup works. Does the table come with the HoloLens?
No, they were just doing something on the table.
Okay. So I guess I don't know how that's going to work, but we'll definitely,
I think it's supposed to display on the surface that you're looking at or something like that.
Huh.
So, yeah, I don't really know. I mean, looks cool. Like, costs a lot. Don't really see myself doing anything with it. People will probably find ways to use it that are cool, though. But I don't know, like, I mean, and then I think they showed their indie games, which, like, by far the best looking one was Cuphead, which is literally, like, a game that plays, like, a classic, like, 1950s cartoon, which
looks
is just
amazing.
Badass. Like, it literally looks like a 1950s cartoon.
Yeah, that's one of the ones I would buy an Xbox One for, because it looks so good. Like, especially with not only just the art style, but I like that it's just like a boss simulator, so you basically have to go from one boss to another, and the designs of all the bosses that I'm seeing, all the different environments, they look astonishing, which it's like this really meticulous attention to detail as far as the hand-drawn animation style goes. I've never seen anything like it before. It's really just something so interesting and unique and wow. I mean, that was the only thing that really caught my eye last year when they did that little montage of indie games.
Yeah.
So I was happy to see it again on the stage this year. So yeah, that's Cuphead. That's one of the Xbox One console exclusives that I really would want, because I don't want to get a better PC for it. I'll just get an Xbox One for it.
Yeah.
But what else did they do? They did of course, Garden Warfare 2, which I was really happy about. I mean, we'll talk about that more when we get to EA, but it looks so good. I'm so happy for it. I really want it.
Yeah.
And I like that it's not... Well, the last one was a timed exclusive from Microsoft, which really irritated me. When I played it for PS4, I was like,
why didn't this come for PS4 as well? But and even then, I was like, fuck you, Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare? Are you fucking serious? And the first one was a lot of fun. I still play it to this day. So, yeah, hell yeah, I'd be really happy to pick up a Garden Warfare 2, and it looked really fun. Even though they didn't show gameplay at this conference, they did show it at the EA one, and it looks awesome. So,
yeah,
happy about that.
Yeah, it looks different enough too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like the same thing.
Right.
Yeah, I honestly like. I know that you were pretty excited about some of the games that were coming out during the Microsoft press conference, but like I wasn't really wowed. I was just kind of like, okay, cool, backwards compatibility. That's like something that'll definitely make people want to buy your system. Like they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
like they're still having to like backtrack ever since that original reveal they did, but I feel like they've actually like once this backwards compatibility thing kicks in, if like I don't know, at that point it's I mean I feel like with the backwards compatibility you're getting a better value altogether than you would with a PS4, but I don't know. Maybe they'll just keep making their system so cheap that I'll just grab it eventually. But I just there's nothing on it that makes me want to buy that system. Like there's some games that I would like to play, but there's nothing where it's like, ooh, I need to go buy this like Xbox One so I can play this game. I mean, there's nothing like that currently. Not to say there won't be in the future. Like maybe when I see Scalebound, maybe I'll be like, whoa, shit, that looks really cool. Quantum Break could probably end up being really cool too, but I mean, we just saw a little bit of that last year. Games but yeah, no, I mean, overall, I would say they had a really decent press conference. They showed some cool games.
Well, they showed
compatibility.
More. Hold on. The one thing that worried me a lot, especially after how they're doing this on Steam,
the fucking EA.
Yeah, no. The Xbox. It's an Xbox early access thing. I was like, oh no, because I was like, wow, this conference is going so well so far, and then when they announced that, I went, oh no.
It's like, hey guys, yeah, you can you can like play the game early and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, there's been a lot, like, people that don't know, there's a lot of controversy as far as the early access thing goes. And because you get a lot, even Sony's guilty of this, where you get a lot of developers that come in and just want you to pay for a game that's in development, and then they don't even bother developing it all that well when the final product comes out, or they just leave it in the final. They just leave it in the what the fuck is it called? Early access stage for so long, and you have to keep paying for it over and over again. That by the game comes out, you've already paid like hundreds of dollars for a game that probably wasn't even all that great to begin with. Which
I don't really know. I mean, honestly, I liked what EA was saying though, but I didn't really know about this Microsoft one, or either I didn't pay attention well enough.
I was like, ooh, like that. If I had to choose a low point, that was the low point. I went.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't actually remember like this whole Microsoft thing right now. I just remembered what EA said, where basically they're coming out with that EA program where it's
right,
where you can just pay like $5 or whatever a month, and you can play all of their games and get access to the game.
That's different. That's like a Netflix of gaming. But this...
Well, no. I mean, but they also had something else where it was like, yeah, for some of our new games that are going to be coming out, we'll let you demo the game.
Oh, right.
And to see if you like the feel of it, and then you can buy into it to play it early or something like that. That's what I heard. So I think I was confusing that with the Microsoft one, maybe.
No,
but that's what I remembered.
When they said early access, I went, fuck, not this. Don't do this, please. And then they were like, they pretty much exactly described what Steam early access is, and I was like, fuck, we're actually gonna do this.
Yeah.
That's disappointing. Another game they showed off that I was really into, and I really want to see more, his Sea of Thieves, which is the new Rare.
Oh yeah, the new Rare game. Oh yeah, Rare dropped bombshells there.
Oh yeah.
Like the sea of Thieves. Yeah, that looks really cool.
Yeah.
Their own sort of like pirate adventure, and it looks like sort of like an MMO pirate adventure kind of.
Yeah. It is an MMO.
So, but then when they turned around and they're like, oh, it's our 30th anniversary, so here's 30 of our classic games for $30. Like the original Perfect Dark, Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, you know.
Not the remake on the original Xbox, the actual old school Conker's Bad Fur Day Battletoads in there. They even had Viva Pinata. But yeah, 30 games for $30. Who the hell wouldn't want to get that? That's like one of the best deals I've ever seen.
That actually reminds me of like some of those classic things you could grab on like the Sega Genesis, where they're like, here's a collection of games, just here, have them. Because they did those every once in a while. They're like greatest hits, and they would give you like 6 or 7 games, and that was always pretty cool. So yeah, I feel like they're doing really good with Rare right now. Rare is doing a really good job.
Yeah, I was very impressed by that. And then they showed off Fable Legends, which
they've been showing for the past 3 years. I might add.
I don't know what the hell is going on with that game. That thing has been...
First it's a game, now it's a free-to-play game, and then, like, I don't... The thing is like, if there's anything that would make me really want an Xbox One, is if they did another legitimate Fable game. Not like Fable 3, not like Fable 2, but like Fable 1. Right. If they did something else like that again, then I would be like, yeah, I kind of do have motivation to get this fucking thing now. Right. And then I would go and I would start playing all of the other Xbox One games that came out, you know. That would be my motivation. But the thing is they basically turned Fable into a joke franchise because Peter Molyneux doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, and he pisses me off. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really remember the Xbox One games they showed off.
Well, the last one, they ended with Gears of War. They ended with the Gears of War, the original Gears of War Ultimate Edition. It's pretty much, and you're going to see this a lot, where it's where people are going to report that it's 1080p 60 frames. It's only 1080p 60 frames in the multiplayer. It's not the single player. Single player is 30 frames. So don't let people fool you that are trying to be like, oh, it's 60 frames all around. No, it's only 60 frames in the multiplayer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But
pretty much just like Halo.
Yeah, and then they said that no, it was 60 frames in the single player as well.
In Halo?
That one was. But
then they announced Gears of War 4.
Yeah,
but I mean, which looked really lackluster in my opinion. I don't really know what they're doing.
I don't feel like that was the bomb they should have ended with. I feel like it wasn't even a bomb. It was just like a.
It was like here's this thing, and it's like okay.
Yeah, it was like because Gears. I feel like they should have ended with Halo. They should have either ended with Halo or Rare. Now that would have been something cool to.
Yeah, because the thing is like you got to start big and you got to end big, because that's what people are gonna remember the most. They're gonna remember that. Your conference started pretty cool, but then it just kind of like petered out, and you're just kind of like, oh, okay, that's something.
I wouldn't even say it petered out. I would just say they chose the wrong thing to end with. It was like last year when they ended with Crackdown, and it was like, oh, that's it? Okay, all right. All right. But anyway, I mean, final thoughts on the conference?
I would say Microsoft had a decent conference. I mean, they basically gave more value to their system than has ever been there before, in my opinion, by basically saying that by the end of this year, your system is going to be backwards compatible. It's growing backwards compatible over time. Honestly, you'll probably be able to play all like the most popular Xbox 360 games on your Xbox One. You know, that's a really big deal, because a lot of people, like, I would say, like, I know your case was a little bit different, but a lot of people had Xbox 360s. And the thing is a lot of people moved over and got PS4s around when all of this stuff started, because they were so disenfranchised with Microsoft. So this is actually like a really big deal, and it might, and not only for the people that already have it, it gives it value, but it gives some people saying like, well, you know what? Now that I can actually play my old 360 games, I feel like I should get an Xbox One now,
Yeah.
because, I can play that, I can play the other stuff if I get bored, it's just, like, their system has a ton of value right now, especially since it's just, like, what is it right now, like $350?
Yeah, it's I think even the 1 terabyte is $350, which I was really impressed with.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's,
But I don't know. I mean, I know you didn't really, like, you didn't see anything that really was like, wow, I need to get a system for this. But in my opinion, this is the most value, and you're absolutely right by saying this is the most value I've ever seen the Xbox One get in a long time, like maybe ever. I think the last time they had like a great conference like this was at Gamescom last year, which they outdid them. They outdid Sony so badly at the Gamescom conference last year.
Yeah.
But I mean, like this year, they came out. They came out with their guns blazing, man. It wasn't like last year where it was like, yeah, I mean, you had some stuff and it looked cool, and I mean, you had the better conference still. But this year, it was like. I could name at least like 2 things off the top of my head that I would want an Xbox, or 3 things that I would want an Xbox One for. Rare Replay, Sea of Thieves, Cuphead. Like just those 3 right there.
Yeah.
That I'm like.
And actually, I'm looking at it right now, and the 1 terabyte Xbox One, it's going to be $400. So technically speaking, if you look at it,
really?
from a comparison value,
well,
is
makes sense, I guess.
So if you put a PS4 with its current, like 500 gigabytes next to the Xbox One with 1 terabyte, with the PS4, they'll probably give you The Last of Us,
Last of Us, or
yeah, there'll be like whatever game bundle there is. So basically $400 a game bundle. With the Xbox One, you will get I think if they're doing the Master Chief Collection with this right now. So basically, you'll get 500 more gigabytes, and basically 4 games at this point, because I think they might also be costing, I don't know if they're just giving, ODST to anyone that gets the Master Chief Collection at this point, or if it has to be people that already had it. So the thing is so there's that, and then the fact that it's also going to be backwards compatible by the end of the year. So it's got a lot of value, because I'm expecting the PS4 to be $450 for the one that has the 1 terabyte hard drive, but we'll see. We'll see. But the thing is at the same time, I mean, like, that's not bad either if you think about it.
No, it was a really enjoyable conference. I mean, even for people I know that don't like Microsoft, they were like, yeah, they really brought it this year. They were not fucking around.
Well, because the thing is like after the E3 conference or the Microsoft conference last year, I was like, you know what? I actually see the Xbox One as a viable console now, and something that I see myself buying in the future. After this one, I'm like, yeah. I mean, the only thing that would that would keep me from just getting one of these, or getting an Xbox anywhere in the near future, would probably just be money. That'd be about it. I mean, the thing is I think I would still wait on it a bit longer. Like, if anything, yeah, it would be something like that. Like, it would be where I would pick up, like, the Halo 5, Xbox One. But the thing is just something equivalent to that, just something new. But, yeah, other than that, I really don't see anything wrong with this system. I mean...
No, not at all. Especially considering how it started.
Yeah,
they've this joke. They've pulled a complete 180 with this
because
thing.
I don't even think that they're going to be selling like an Xbox One terabyte version with the Kinect. I don't think they're going to do it. Also, if you think about it, I didn't even hear them like mention.
They didn't even mention it once.
Yeah, the only thing I've heard from other people is that they I think they talked about Cortana, which is like their interface type thing that they're going to be doing. But the thing is I haven't heard about any shitty Kinect games and stuff like that. Like, they've pretty much just realized that wasn't going to work. Like,
no.
If they have anything, it is a side peripheral thing. It's not supposed to. It's not going to dominate your system, which is something that if I can just say for a second over on the Sony side when they talked about Project Morpheus or they were just no. The thing is that what they said for that is they said like it's like a completely optional side thing. It's like, you don't have to buy this, which is something I've always appreciated about Sony, because the thing is even when they did their freaking Wiimote, or their PS Move, like that was optional. They didn't force people to buy that stupid thing. Like all of the things have always been optional, like side things, and be like, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, okay, it's not going to affect the main experience you're having with the game.
Right.
Something Nintendo's never fucking understood.
Right. Moving on to EA. They opened up with a cinematic for the new Mass Effect, which is officially called Mass Effect Andromeda. Which, I guess it's in a new galaxy?
It is,
years after the events of the original.
There was a little article that came out where it said, like, it's really far away, and it's later on in time. So it's after Shepard and everything like that.
Which, good.
But they really haven't said anything else more about that. No. I don't really know what's going to happen.
Holiday 2016. I was like, God damn.
Yeah. And, I mean, it looks like they might if they bring back the planetary exploration in the game like they had in Mass Effect 1, I love the planetary exploration in Mass Effect 1. If they bring that back, if they basically, like, give back more of its RPG elements, it's not just as pretty much... Because it started with as an RPG with shooter elements instead of a shooter with RPG elements. That's what it ended up as. And if it goes back to its roots, it's going to be probably really freaking awesome.
Especially if they add new things in it beyond like an upgraded, besides a new character, besides a new drivable car, besides the new galaxy. If they actually add like new interesting gameplay stuff to it, I might actually wait, because knowing me and my history of Mass Effect, I really enjoy everything about those games except the combat. I really don't like the combat in I think the only one I've ever liked the combat in was 3. But the other ones, I'm like, ugh, I just did not like it at all.
Well, the thing is, I thought 3 turned into too much of like a cover shooter.
That's what I like. I liked that though. I don't like the combat in the first one at all. In fact, like when I played it on the PS3, because it was like 99 cents, I think, I was like, oh my god, I forgot how much I don't like the combat in this. And I love the story, and I love all the characters, and I love the RPG elements. It's just the combat was just so terrible that I just didn't like it.
Personal preferences, but
yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, no, I mean, if it's any indication how they did actually fix a lot of stuff in Dragon Age with their last Dragon Age game, I would be optimistic for this one.
Oh yeah. I mean, I want to get it.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I want to get it. It's not like I don't want to get the new Mass Effect. I just, especially after 3 with the fucking ending, I'm just like, all right, you're gonna have to really impress me in order to get me back into this series, because you really broke my heart at the end of the last one. So, yeah. I think the next thing they showed, oh god, they went right into goddamn Need for Speed. Oh my god. Oh, and they never once mentioned that it was an always online thing, which I thought was really funny, because I think they're trying to avoid that like crazy. Which, if you think they would learn after Diablo 3, which to be fair isn't EA, but and SimCity, which is, those being disasters at launch, you would think they would learn by now that this does not work. But lo and behold, I guess they really are that dumb, and they're not going to learn from what they did in the past, so they're just going to keep making the same damn mistakes over and over again. And, whatever. I mean, I used to like Need for Speed, and I actually was interested before it kind of went off the rails, because I think there's one Need for Speed where you actually play as a guy who can possess other players while drive. It's so fucking weird. They just went off the fucking rails with this shit. But I was interested in the reboot. I was like, okay, this could be interesting. Then when I heard always online DRM, I was like, nope, done. Nope, don't care. I don't care anymore. Don't care. No.
Yeah.
No. And what do you and I are probably just on the same page.
Look, the thing is like, I'm not a giant fan of racing games. I like some, like I played Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, like the original one. I mean, they're fun to play for me for a little bit, but racing games aren't really the games that entertain me.
Right.
The only racing game I really like is Mario Kart.
I like Burnout Revenge because that encourages you.
Oh well, yeah, Burnout was fun, but I mean, still at the same time, the one I have the most with is Mario Kart.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't really have anything else to say about that other than they started their freaking trailer where it was like pre-alpha footage or something like that, and then it just showed like 2 real people talking, and then just kind of faded over, and it's like, oh yeah, here, customize your car now. And then, if anything, like when they were driving, I actually got a little disoriented when they were doing all those weird ass like turns and shit.
I zoned out. I just started. Yeah. I started checking my phone at that point. I was like, I don't care.
Well, I mean, because the thing is the bulk of people turned into the EA conference for Battlefront. That's all they tuned into that for.
We'll get to that. But because that's an interesting conversation we can have about that. The next thing they showed was Star Wars: The Old Republic, an expansion called Knights of the Fallen Empire, which they said is going to be more like Knights of the Old Republic, which, we didn't see anything. It was just like the usual cinematics that they do.
Well, it really shocked me that they even did anything for them because when the Old Republic came out initially, EA backed it massively, and then because it didn't, like, it sold amazingly well, but the thing is since it didn't stand up to the exact numbers that EA wanted, they actually gutted BioWare Austin. Like, they laid off a crap ton of people.
Yeah.
So instead of being able to put out all of these, like, weekly and bi-weekly updates and stuff like that they kept talking about and, like bringing all this extra content, the game stagnated and a lot of people left.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I played it, for a while. I came back after they did their kind of like first little like cartel thing, and then I just faded off again because I really couldn't play it on my computer anymore because I couldn't run it graphically anymore. It wasn't reliable enough because when it first came out, I was able to actually run it. I found a way to make it run on my laptop, which was amazing. But I mean, I would still love to play around with that game. Like, I would just kind of, if I would get bored, I would just go dick around with it, and honestly, like, the story modes in the game felt like Knights of the Old Republic story modes. It's just that they gave you different classes to play through. Of course, there was that MMO moment where it's like you would do the dungeons and things like that, but I found it was like a really entertaining game. I really like the Old Republic. I just wish they would actually just do a legitimate sequel that wasn't an MMO. But I don't think that's going to happen for a while.
No.
And or ever again maybe, but yeah, no. If I had a computer that could run it, I would play it. And I can't remember if they said this, but did they say that they were actually going to give that that expansion for free?
Oh, I didn't hear that.
I think they said it was free. Yeah, no, I think they said it was free.
Huh? Which
was kind of a big deal.
That's interesting. If that's true.
But I mean, the cinematic looks cool. I mean, it looks like they were adding new villains and stuff like that. Probably going to add more worlds and go back and do some other things, which is always really cool. Yeah. I mean, it makes the world more immersive and awesome. So, I mean, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. The next one they showed, which actually, this is the point in the conference where I was like, oh, great, here we go. It's going to be the same old E3. It's going to be goddamn boring. We get to something called Unravel, which
Unravel.
I really was surprised. I really liked what I saw from that.
Yeah, where I think the whole deal was that they one of the EA guys was looking around like these indie studios, and he saw this one game and he was like, "We need this game."
Yeah.
And the presenter that came out was like the game director of it, I believe, and the guy was like, his hands were shaking. He was like genuinely nervous.
Which I liked.
And everything that he showed off, and I was like, man, like, it sounds like this is just going to be another concept art thing, and because he was like, yeah, and I started going around and you know, like in this forest, and I started like trailing out this yarn, like how it would look and things like that. And then they actually showed stuff at the end. I'm like, you know what? This looks good.
Yeah,
this looks good.
It looks really interesting. I like that it's a puzzle platformer, which is cool. Also, I like, and it seems like a weird thing to appreciate, but I like that the guy was really nervous because he seemed genuinely excited to be there. And so many of these conferences have these people that come up that are just these like cold, sterile, oh, here is our game. We are so passionate about it.
I always hate the guys that come out with the suits that have the same hand motions and all the same bull crap like that. It always really bothers me.
They did that. Like, I like how I was like, wow, that's so refreshing to see somebody like that. And then the Battlefront, the one that came out for Battlefront was like, there has not been one point in my life that Star Wars wasn't. And I was like, oh, see, this is what I'm talking about. See, this is why I appreciate that the guy was nervous. Because, yeah, he fumbled his lines a bit, but who fucking cares? It's like, I like that the guy actually showed genuine excitement to be there. And I was like, I would be too. I want to see more of that. So anyway, then it went on to what it always goes on to. Actually, no. Then it went to Garden Warfare 2. They showed a very substantial demo of it. So apparently in this one, the zombies have taken over, and it's switched roles now, where the plants are the offense and the zombies are the defense. So instead of the plants planting stuff to guard their fortresses and stuff, you have the zombies not really planting stuff, but making machinery, making turrets. It's interesting, and I like that they switched it up for this. The new classes look fun. There's going to be free content updates, which, good, thank you. And what my favorite part is that because the characters in the original Garden Warfare, it can take a while to unlock some of them. Well, not some of them. It can take a while to unlock a lot of them. And I like that they said whatever characters you unlock in Garden Warfare will be transferable to Garden Warfare 2. And that gets a huge thumbs up from me, because that's really nice that they're doing that. So I was very happy. And the multiplayer looks like a lot of fun. The co-op looks like a lot of fun. And it's Garden Warfare. It always looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, I got the first one for free on, like, PSN.
Same here.
That was pretty cool. I had zero complaints with it when I played it. It was fun to dick around with.
The only thing I notice is that, like, the microtransactions do kind of slow down how quickly you get stuff in the game, but I don't think it's as egregious as something like Mortal Kombat X, where they gimped the coin system so badly to where it takes so long to get stuff in that game. That was just a fucking catastrophe, the way they handled that. Anyway, and then they did, of course, what they always do, except in a different order this time, which the sports. They started out with NHL, which, whatever. NBA.
Well, the thing is, they just showed it for a second, and then they could...
Because they know how badly the last one was received. They
botched the one that came out last year or the beginning of this year. They just screwed that up. Like, I mean, how do you launch a game that has less features than your previous game?
It's a nightmare. NBA Live, which, I really didn't care.
I mean, the one cool thing was, like, when he took the phone and he, like, took the picture of the guy's face, and then you could just take that and put it into the game.
But they had a feature like that in 2K15, and it was a disaster.
But, I mean, that reminds me of the, what they did with Rainbow Six Vegas, like, back on, like, the 360, where, like, they would let you do the same thing, where, like, you would put your face in, like, front of the screen or something, and I can't remember how it was, but you could, like, put your face onto your character in Rainbow Six Vegas.
Interesting.
But yeah, no, I mean, that one looks pretty cool, like, fairly, like, sculpt your face, and so, I mean, that's a cool neat little feature.
Right.
I mean, then they, like, cut off midway and showed that Minion game?
I think that was Ubisoft that did that.
That did Minions?
Yeah, I think that was Ubisoft.
I don't know. Well, no, because the thing is, there was some kind of, like, mobile game they did,
and
then they cut back and they started doing FIFA.
The Star Wars one.
Oh, yeah, everyone was kind of like,
and then they did, FIFA, which I'm a new FIFA fan, so I was actually, that was the one sports game I was actually interested to see, and it looks better this time. You got better defense, you got better midfield, so, which is a big problem with some of the last games, because they really sucked at programming the defense a lot of the time. But it looked cool. And then they did, well, let's just get the sports out of the way. They did NFL, well, not, then they have NFL 16, which, I mean,
I was absolutely shocked that the only game they sat down and talked about this entire conference really. I mean, they did the NFL thing with they did the fantasy football. That was pretty much it.
Yeah.
I mean, and then they did FIFA, and then they had like the king of football, Pele.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like Pele, like the greatest soccer player ever.
Yeah,
come out and
he
had like a conversation with like the guy that was out there, which was pretty cool, where he coined the term "the most beautiful game," and then they showed it off a little bit, and also the really cool fact that they're actually putting in the women's teams too, which is awesome, which is making the game more inclusive to everybody.
Oh yeah.
That looked really awesome. The FIFA game, because the thing is EA knows that this is 100% true. Doesn't matter what the fuck America does, whether or not how many copies of Madden they sell. Like, FIFA is the most popular sports game in the entire world.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Most popular. Everyone buys that game.
Yeah.
And the thing is something that shocked me that I didn't hear, because I know in the past couple of years they always talked about, like, FIFA, like, sports club and all these things where it's, like, the social clubs within FIFA, so I'm wondering, are they waiting to talk about them more in the future? Is that coming back? Or if they're not having the sports club again this year?
It might be in the future.
Because it's a feature, they're just not talking about it again.
I think they might have it somewhere in the future. I mean, if they don't have it at launch, they'll definitely put it in later.
Yeah.
But, what was next? Oh, of course, Mirror's Edge, Catalyst, which I honestly was kind of underwhelmed by.
I was too, because I feel like I really loved the first Mirror's Edge. I thought it was a great game.
It's a lot of fun.
And then they're like, oh, well, here, Fate's back, but this time it's a prequel.
Story. I was like,
and it's a prequel, and instead of having missions, it's just all kind of open world, and I'm like,
it looks like the exact same game as the first one. That's my biggest thing, because I was like, I mean, it looks cool, and I think it still looks beautiful, but I'm not really seeing anything that's all that different from the first one, as far as the mechanics, as far as all that goes.
Well, the problem is I feel like they're going in the wrong direction on this. Instead of, like, trying to talk about her origin, they should have just moved forward, because the thing is the problem is they established a world that was like this totalitarian world where there was like a leader that just basically would tell people how to do, like the police would just basically enforce all these things, and you were just this basically underground person who would go around and deliver messages and kind of like try and be subversive to the government.
Right.
And the thing is like, okay, I get that. I understand what's going on in this world, but now you're going to try and go back and explain that? I don't need that, because I feel like you're going to kind of like ruin it by trying to like, oh yeah, is this kind of like a soft reboot to Mirror's Edge? And I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't undermine the first game, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that would just fucking piss me off. And I swear to God, if I fucking see Anita Sarkeesian say anything or do anything for this game, I'm just going to stay 30 feet away from it at all times. Because I heard that originally where, like, EA wanted to bring her in as a consultant to talk about it. I'm like, no, like, this is going to be just an aside. But the thing is, Anita Sarkeesian does not know what the fuck she's talking about. She is a blatant fucking hypocrite. And everyone that might be like, oh, well, no, Eric, no, you're just being like a sexist bastard. And I'm going to turn around and tell you, no, she's a fucking hypocrite, and I can tell you exactly why. Here is why. The Bethesda press conference that we talked about opened with Doom, which one thing we actually forgot to talk about is they started with gameplay, talked about it, and ended with a shit ton more gameplay. They showed you that fucking game. Out of every other game in the entire conference, they showed you Doom, which I appreciate. But you know what Doom is. you know what Fallout is. You know, like, Fallout has its VATS mode. Fallout is kind of violent. I mean, it's like fucking Road Warrior, but open world. You know, you have Doom. Doom is Doom. It's called Doom. It was the first game that really started the FPS franchise on the PC the way it is today. And, of course, it was violent. You were blowing demons apart way back when it came out. And both her and fucking Dave McIntosh are tweeting on Twitter saying things like, oh, Doom is so grotesque and people clapping for all the brutality and the bodies blowing apart in the blood. It's so absolutely disgusting. And they're both saying that, and they're both bashing Doom. But if you go back to Anita Sarkeesian's article where she first said, look, I'm a gamer too, where she had that huge fucking stack of games that she said she went out and bought and played to say, like, look, I'm just like you. Not only did she have all 3 Gears of War games, she had Fear, she had Mortal Kombat, she had Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. So she's going to bash Fallout 4 for doing the exact same Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas does. She's a fucking hypocrite. You know, if she did not feel like those games were good games, she would not have had them in the stack of her games that was representing herself as a fucking gamer. That's why she's a goddamn hypocrite, and that's why I'm going to move on now. But,
but drop, boom.
but yeah, no. So I mean, the thing is, I mean, but yeah.
I don't want to get into Anita Sarkeesian, but I don't dislike her to the level that a lot of people do, but I do agree that her thoughts on Doom and Fallout and Witcher are completely wrong. If she wants to be sickened by violence, whatever, that's her.
I mean, no, she's perfectly entitled to her opinion, but the thing is just don't be a hypocrite about it.
No, I don't know. I could go on and on about her whole, especially Macintosh, about their whole Witcher 3 argument.
But anyway, back to like Mirror's Edge.
Fallout.
I mean, it has potential to be a really, really fun game.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're keeping with the same motions where they're like coloring the atmosphere, so it feels free form when you're running and things like that. So it's nice, but I mean, we'll have to see. It's another game that's coming out next year. We'll see more about it.
We're hitting the hour and a half mark.
Yeah.
But let's.
Well, I want to at least finish E3 before we move
absolutely. on. Let's talk.
EA.
Let's talk about the very long-awaited gameplay for Star Wars Battlefront.
But right before that, they showed off
the mobile thing.
Yeah, the Disney Infinity with Star Wars.
No, that was Sony. That was Sony.
Yeah, yeah.
But I must admit, and to be fair, this isn't me going, I will buy the game day one. I really want this. I'm still peeved about the whole no space combat, no single play, no story missions, no galactic conquest, no Clone War stuff. But from a gameplay standpoint, it looks really good.
Yeah, no, it does look really good. I mean, it sounds like a Star Wars game. It looks like a Star Wars game. Yeah. I mean, I liked the way the blasters worked. Looked cool. They had like different grenades that would do different stuff. You could call in orbital strikes, pick up other things like rocket launchers. You could control like the snow speeders, the X-wings, TIE fighters, AT-ATs, ATSTs,
heroes and villains.
I want to say the Imperial Walkers are probably on rails, and you can only probably shoot them.
If they're going to move that slowly, I actually don't mind, because then it's like, well, then it's like if you control it, then it's like, oh, well, now I'm stuck in this corner, and I don't know what to do. I'm
just wondering how many people they're going to allow to be inside of an Imperial Walker at the same time.
Right. Well, on paper, when they said that it's like the on rails, I was like, oh fuck. But seeing it in action, I'm actually okay with that, because from what it seems very cramped where it was walking through. It seemed like a cramped.
Yeah, no, like all they actually showed during their conference right there, it looked really small. So I hope the map isn't fucking small. I hope it's just that they were just kind of going over an area of it.
That's only one of, I think it's like 3 maps per planet. because they have Hoth, they have Endor.
But yeah, no, but but the thing is like, in the other ones, you could get your whole, like, the outside and inside.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I expect them to at least live up to that.
Yeah. And it just looked good. And I was really happy to see that it actually looks like a lot of fun, despite all this. Admittedly, like, some of it warranted, like a majority of it warranted, especially for the way they totally botched the reveal for it, which was just sucked. This should have been at the Star Wars Celebration. If they had this,
they needed to show that actual, like, what they showed to the press.
Yeah.
They needed to show that to people at the Star Wars Celebration, because we were all just sitting like, oh.
Yeah.
A trailer.
It wasn't the same thing that they showed to the press, because my biggest fear is that they were just going to show I thought
they were just going to show the exact same thing.
Yeah, they were just going to show the Endor demo that the press got, and it would have been like, oh, I've already read about this. But no, it was something I hadn't seen before, I hadn't heard about, I hadn't seen before. So yeah, I was pretty happy. I thought that ended the conference really well. But yeah, final thoughts on the conference overall, Eric?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of their games are still way off in the future, and they just keep still giving concept art and crap like that. Star Wars. I mean, the only reason why I tuned into that press conference was for Star Wars, and hopes that they would do something else. I mean, Mass Effect teased it just like last year. Didn't get anything new. Unravel was a surprise. Yeah. So basically, the only things that I liked out of it were Unravel and Star Wars. Mm-hmm. But I mean, Star Wars, I mean, it looked good. I'd like to be able to play it. Yeah. I wish they would have done something where it's like, oh, well, like maybe we're going to do like a demo in the next couple months or something like that for people to play. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I was really bummed out to hear that it was only like the most you could get in that game was 40-person maps. So basically 20 versus 20. Yeah. Because the thing is after going up and doing 64-player matches and like Battlefield, it's like, I feel like there's zero excuse. Star Wars has the maps, it has the environment. Yeah. There's no reason not to do up to 64 players. You would fill 64-player matches with Battlefield or Battlefront. Absolutely. And it just really bums me out. And then they said like, oh, there's going to be some smaller ones where it's like 8 people, so it's 4v4. I'm like, that I don't care about that. In Star Wars, when I'm playing Battlefront, mm-hmm. I want to be in large-scale battles. That's how all of the other ones have been, whether they've been space battles, like planetary battles, they've always been large-scale battles. Right. And I don't want to play squad-based battles. It's stupid. I mean, I understand it in, like Battlefield or Call of Duty. That's mm-hmm. fine, but this isn't that. Right. This isn't Halo, So that really threw me off and disappointed me. But yeah, it's basically, I don't know, I got to see Star Wars. That's all I was looking forward to from EA anyway. Yeah. I thought it was much better than I had anticipated, because usually I'm always like, Xbox, PlayStation, and then I'm like, but there's EA and Ubisoft. But EA actually did a decent job this year, which I was really surprised. I'd say Ubisoft did a much better job, though. Really? I thought, well, I don't want to give away my thoughts on that yet, but I feel like they did slightly better than Ubisoft, because I felt like it was more professional. Ubisoft to me is always like the frat house of the video game industry as far as the conferences go. But yeah, I thought it was all right. I mean, of course, there's those moments where you just go, ugh, like, hurry up, get through this. But I like that they didn't do a straight, like, forward sports montage again, like they always do every year. They actually learned a thing or two. They took the feedback back. So yeah, I somewhat liked it. I thought it was okay. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So anyway, that's part one of the EA, not EA, part one of the E3 talk. We're probably gonna release the next episode tomorrow. So stay tuned. Yeah, stay tuned for tomorrow for Sony. Our thoughts on Sony, Ubisoft. Did you watch the Nintendo conference? Nope. Okay, then I'll give a short little overview of that.
And
we might be able to toss that in with the Square Enix one.
Right. Well, Square Enix as well. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Have a good one.